The contemplation of God and the frequent repetition of these beautiful biblical passages will increase your faith and your consciousness of oneness with the Infinite. Make it a rule never to affirm your health, your success, or yourself what you do not wish to be true. Don't say that you feel rocky, that you are used up, played out, that you feel miserable, that you don't feel like doing anything. Never tell people of your aches and pains, for every repetition means etching the black pictures of these conditions deeper and deeper into your consciousness. Instead of thus intensifying them, say to yourself, "The power that created and that sustains me every instant of my life, repairs, renews, restores, cures me. I am health, I am vigor, I am power, I am that which I think I am." Refuse to see or to hold for an instant an imperfect, discordant sin or disease marred image of yourself. Do not harbor a suggestion of your inferiority, physically or mentally. Always picture yourself as a great, strong, splendid man or woman, clean, true, beautiful, a sublime specimen of humanity. Do not allow yourself to harbor a thought of physical or mental weakness. Think health, power, perfection at every breath. Persist in holding the thought of yourself as you long to be, the ideal which your Creator saw ahead of you when He fashioned you. Cling to your vision of health without taint, weakness, or defect. Have you a hair-trigger temper, and do you fly all to pieces over the least provocation? Starting raging fires in your brain that are as destructive to your mental and physical forces as are the great forest fires to the vast tracts of territory over which they sweep. If you have, you are minimizing all your powers and seriously endangering your success, your happiness, your life itself. Ask Sing Sing what the hot tempers, the fires of uncontrolled anger, of jealous rage, of revenge, of hate, of all the explosive passions have done. Ask the poorhouses, the insane asylums, the morgues. Ask the records of human wreckage everywhere what the fruits of uncontrolled passions of every sort are. Anger, whatever its cause, is temporary insanity. Are you in the habit of losing your temper, of flying into a rage over trifles? If you could only see what a miserable spectacle, what a fool exhibition you make of yourself on such occasions, when you go all to pieces and rave like a madman because you miss your train, or because you think someone insults you, when you step down from the throne of your reason and let the brute sit there and rule in your place, you would be so chagrined and mortified that you would leave nothing undone to rid yourself of your fault. Why, nothing could hire you, when in your right mind, to make such a ludicrous and contemptible exhibition of yourself. You only do it when under the stress of angry passion, when shorn of your power by this temporary insanity. To retain self-control, mental poise, equanimity under all provocations, great or small, is an index of a fine, strong character. It is a triumph of strength over weakness, of greatness over littleness. The habit of conquering ourselves is the habit of victory. It strengthens all the faculties. You can bring this great force of control to your aid by calling on the divinity within you, by asserting your oneness with the Divine who is eternal calmness. Say to yourself, God's image is in me. I am of divine lineage. I was not intended to be passion's slave. It is not unworthy of a real man, of a real woman, to be the plaything of temper, or any sort of explosive tearing down passion. There is something divine in me, and I will not allow my lower nature to get control. The constant affirmation of your oneness with your Creator, with the One, will give you a wonderful sense of power and will help you to overcome every handicap. But you must be very positive, very insistent and persistent in your affirmations. No matter what fault you are trying to overcome or what good quality you are anxious to acquire, there must be no weakness, indecision, or vacillation in your affirmations or your efforts. If you are cursed with the fatal habit of indecision, if you are a weak vacillator, always taking things up for reconsideration because you are not quite sure that you have done the right thing, if you allow yourself to waver, to doubt the wisdom of your decision, you will be incapable of ever under any circumstances arriving at an intelligent conclusion. You can cure the curse of indecision by asserting your power to see clearly. Think quickly and act decisively. If you are in doubt as to what career to choose, if you hesitate in regard to what course you should take in any difficulty, which of 2 or 3 paths you should follow, whatever your problem may be, ask for light and the divine power within will come to your aid and guide you aright. Repeat the I am in every instance. I am positive. I can decide vigorously, firmly, finally. Resolve every morning that you will, during that day, decide things without possibility of recall or reconsideration. First go over the matter to be decided very thoroughly and carefully. In making your decision, use the best judgment at your command and then close the incident. You will secure yourself against vacillation by refusing, after it is thus closed, to wonder whether you have done the wisest thing, by resisting every temptation to open the matter for reconsideration. If you feel that you are a coward somewhere in your nature, you can strengthen this deficient faculty wonderfully by holding the courageous ideal, by thinking and reading about heroic people and things, holding the thought of fearlessness, that you are God's child, that you are not afraid of anything on the earth. Study the stories of heroic lives. Think, act, live the heroic thought. Say, I am a son of God, and I was never made to cower, to slink, to be afraid. Fear is not an attribute of divinity. I am brave, courageous. I am a conqueror. If you are suffering with poverty disease, if your whole life has been stunted by poverty, saturated with poverty-stricken thoughts and convictions, if you have been heading towards the poverty goal, just turn about face and put the law of abundance into operation. Face towards prosperity and success instead of poverty and failure. All the good things you need are yours by inheritance. Claim them, expect them, work for them and pray for them, and you will realize them in your life. Make this last stanza of Ella Wheeler Wilcox's splendid little poem, Assertion, a new bead on your rosary. Repeat it frequently and work cheerfully, confidently, courageously toward its fulfillment. I am success, though hungry, cold, ill-clad. I wander for a while, I smile and say, it is but for a time, I shall be glad. Tomorrow, for good fortune comes my way. God is my Father, He has wealth untold. His wealth is mine, health, happiness, and gold. If you have made fatal mistakes for which you have been ostracized from society, if you are morbidly worrying over some unfortunate experience, thus making it bigger, blacker, and more hideous, just thrust it out of your mind, bury it, forget it, say to it, you have no power over me. I will not allow you to destroy my peace and thwart my career. You are not the truth of my being. The reality of me is divine, and you cannot touch that. I can and I will rise above all my troubles, make good all my mistakes and errors. From now on, I will work with the God within me. I will not be overcome. I will overcome. If you are the slave of a demon habit which has blasted your hopes, blighted your happiness, thwarted your ambition, cast its black shadow across your whole life, say to yourself, I will break away from this vile habit. I will be free and not a slave. If it is impurity, say, I was not made to be dominated by such a monstrous vice. God's image in me was not intended to wallow in this filth. I have suffered long enough from this damnable habit, which is undermining my health, killing my chances of success in life, and lowering me below the level of the beast. I am a child of the Infinite, sent here to make a worthy contribution to humanity, to make good. I am going to make good. I am going to free myself from this base habit and recover my self-respect, my manhood at any cost. I am going to be a man, not a thing, a son of God, not of the devil. Continually flood your mind with purity thoughts and affirmations which will neutralize your sensual desires. Repeat again and again your determination not to allow your life to be spoiled by unrestrained passion. Make such an emphatic and vigorous call upon your better self. Make the demand so appealing that your higher nature will be aroused and will dominate your acts. Say, "The Creator has bidden me to look up, not down. He made me climb, not to descend and wallow in the mire of animalism." If it is drink, opium, excessive smoking, or any other vicious habit that is robbing you of manhood and holding you back in life, string this bead on your rosary. I was not made to be dominated by you, a mere weed, an extract of grain, a habit which I forged. I am done with you once and forever. The appetite for you is destroyed. There is something divine within me which makes me perfectly able to overcome you. You are a vile thing, and have disgraced me for the last time. Never again can you humiliate me and make me despise myself. There can be only one ruler in my mental kingdom, and I propose to be that one. I don't propose to allow you whiskey, cigarette, opium, or other drug or devil to ruin my life, to force me to carry in my face the signs of my defeat, the scarlet letter of my degradation, my failure. You have humiliated, insulted me, tyrannized over me long enough, making me confess that I hadn't enough strength of mind to stand up against a single vicious, degrading habit. Now I defy you. Your power over me is at an end. The spell is broken. Hereafter I am going to walk the earth as a conqueror, a victor, not as a slave. I am going to front the world with my head up and face forward. God and one make a majority. I am in the majority now. There is no inferiority or depravity about the man God made. No matter how low you may have fallen, the God image in you never can be smirched or depraved. It is as perfect in the worst criminal in the penitentiary as it is in the greatest saint. There is something in every human being that is incontaminable, something which is never sick, never diseased, and which never sins. This is the God in us. And herein lies the hope of the most brutal human being on the earth. There is something in him that is divine, sinless, immortal, the God in him which when called will instantly rush to his aid. If you feel that you have wandered very far from your God, that you have gotten out of the current which runs heavenward, just repeat to yourself such things as this: "Nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee." This will help you to put up your trolley pole, to make your connection with the divine wire which carries omnipotent power. The sense of separateness will disappear, and the load under which you have staggered before will grow light, will be lifted from you. The secret of all health, prosperity, happiness, power, love, of victorious living is a consciousness of union, of oneness with the divine. This is the secret of all human blessedness. When you are in this Godward current you are near to God. You cannot fear, for you can know that no harm can come to infinite power. The closer we are to divinity, the greater our strength and efficiency. What makes us weak and inefficient is that we have shut off this power by our wrong thinking, vicious living. Your life will take on a new meaning, a diviner dignity, when you consciously realize you're at one-ment with the great creative, sustaining principle of the universe. Nothing will be of more help to you in achieving this great result than the constant daily use of your New Thought Rosary. It will help you to put further and further away the things that make you weak, that make you think you are a mere puppet, at the mercy of a cruel fate, which tosses you about in the world regardless of your own birthright, desires, and volition. You can make each bead prayer an affirmation to lead you closer and closer to the source of all things. Whether it be the overcoming of a vicious habit, the strengthening of some defect or deficiency, the getting away from poverty and despair, whatever you desire, you can repeat your affirmation concerning it, silently if with others, audibly when you're alone, until it becomes part of you. Especially repeat the beads of your rosary which fit your greatest needs before retiring to sleep. If you have been demagnetizing yourself, neutralizing your hopes, your ambition, and your efforts by your black, vicious outlook upon life, by your doubts and worries, your fear of poverty, of sickness, of misfortune, of death, put these things out of your mind and say, "God is my helper. God is my supply, I cannot want. God is my shepherd, I cannot lack. I must live in full realization of my oneness with infinite life. Each one of us is a part of the living God, and we are powerful, victorious, and happy in just proportion as we realize our oneness with Him, and weak, abject, and miserable just in the degree we separate ourselves from Him, the All Source, the All Supply.